Happy Monday and welcome in Flyquest fans. It's time for another week of fun and frags and Flyquest wins, right? Am I right, Parks?
I think you're right. And you know what they say, you don't let a man who's right, you don't disrupt him. You let him continue to talk. So no, I
Oh
think it's
gosh, you
gonna
could
be a
see
good
my
one.
whole desk bouncing when I did that.
Yeah, it's a full on kind of day today. Packed week for us as well. 3 matches upcoming, which is great. Tonight starting off will be against Beyond Limits. And we've gotten confirmation Emmy is back in the server tonight. Jake Zula, he has had his stint as a stand-in. He's back in the couch or the coach's desk. So yeah, we've got Emmy back into the server, which is good to see. And they're going to need her, especially considering who they're going up against tonight.
Yes, so tonight we have, you can see above my head who they're playing against. You can see in the title. You can also see it right there on your screen. FlyQuest Red, 4-3. Beyond Limits, 4-3. Same number of points, same number of matches. So the winner is going to be the one that takes the lead tonight. But don't let the score fool you too much. You go in, you really dig deep into who these teams are playing, and Beyond Limits have had some heaters. Villainous, Chicken Coop, Demolition, 3 teams that are very high up on the rankings. But let's talk with FlyQuest to start things off. You already know this team: Bibion, Fox, Emmy, Vanessa, and Marie. And the good news is Emmy is back on the server. So Jake can take a back seat, take those tech pauses for his yapping, and let the ladies shoot.
You know what? I will say it was very fun to have Sheikh Zulu when we did, at least for the small amount of time that he was here. But yeah, tonight's map, we didn't even get to this one yet. It's ancient, completely off the beaten path in terms of FlyQuest maps. But hey, you take what you can get when what you get given. And I think tonight will be a very interesting one indeed. But yeah, you can see even with everything in situation, they got the knife round ahead of us here as we get into the game.
No, the has traveled, and where the heck did I end up? Because just look at the T spawn. You got the water that looks like you really don't want to be standing there. You got the jungle. You got the Aztec theme. It's very. Sometimes the path less traveled is less traveled for a reason, but we'll have to see if that reason holds up for FlyQuest, as I think this is the first time they'll have played it this season, and it's not a map they play very often in general. So we'll see if they feel practiced on it. Just waiting to make sure everybody's ready. Fox may be taking an extra break before things start, but we will get right into the pistol round.
Almost gonna hate me a little bit. I'm messing with my mic spot.
Why do a sound check when we can?
Yeah,
just
why do a
it
sound check
live?
when I can just immediately change it because I didn't like where the mic was situated, and as a result, now I can finally see again where I'm going. No, rounds on, games going here. We do have FlyQuest Red starting on the CT side, of course, and Beyond Limits, it's gonna be heavy lean, lots towards Cat, and that's gonna be spotted instantly here early on.
This
It's
is
a
going to be
very mid-heavy play.
This is going to be difficult. Now FlyQuest Red, they are going to be on the full retake. They've got Promise here to try and stop them from going in via Cat. So they'll all head in through that upper cave, but Flixie just flattening 2 right off the bat will leave things in a difficult spot for FlyQuest Red. 3 versus 5, and they're just losing more and more. Getting wrapped on through cave. Fox looking for something with the P2000 on long. Does catch Dens, and oh, she's got 3, but it's not going to be enough, as Promise will come back in for the finishing blow, and Beyond Limits will start off with the lead.
Yeah, tough break to start things off. FlyQuest, they were trying to get going on the they're trying to get going in sort of a mid push, right? They were planning to stop the elements from any kind of lateral movement from B to A through Cat, but what ends up happening instead is they give up a lot of space in towards that B site, and that means that the elements can take easy amounts of control. And they're going to try and do the same kind of thing here. Ooh, they will find Dalton early on. But there is the MAC-10 and AK combination coming through. Galil will chime in as well. Big kills coming in for Beastman. And yeah, 2-0 start there for Beyond Limits.
Very, very good start for Beyond Limits. Obviously catching Flyquest and a bit of a gamble stack in mid and being in the right position to work off of it. And then just, hey, rifles versus pistols. I mean, typically that is going to be the bowling alley. Now we get the full buy. Once again, Flyquest Red, they're sending 2 down mid to try and stop the early push out, but Beyond Limits already Dalton out through mid, and he's going to start to cut down this bulwark that Flyquest Red are trying to set up. Going to offer up the option to cut the map in half, though there is still Emmy holding back in Red Room, so Beyond Limits, they're going to take their pick and set up something else. Ooh, they might have actually pulled an over rotation out of Flyquest Red. Dalton just holding inside of Donut alone while the rest of the team sets up for the B pop. He's caught by Emmy, but in the meantime, nades deployed onto B, and there's not going to be a whole lot of firepower on this site for Flyquest Red to try and retake it early on.
Vanessa initially the only player here. She's going to allow them to take that site. Now, utility coming in and sort of Molotovs and smokes everywhere. However, they have been able to sneak Emmy in through cave, at least initially here. I will say she sneaks in. I think she was found out immediately. However, the 1-for-1 trade is a really good start here. Now, the extra utility, the flashes, the nades are going to come in. More 1-for-1 trades continuing on here. Beastman and Flixie, the last 2 left. It's Fox and Vanessa, and they've gotten the first. Fox trying to swing the rest of cave. She'll spot the second player. 1v1. Vanessa comes around the corner, but Flixie gets the kill. Lil, that 35 bullet mag coming in supreme. Beyond
Not only
Limits.
that,
They get close, but yeah, I mean, make it
that
through.
retake, you mentioned it, that retake was a lot of 1-for-1 trades, one after another, and Flyquest Red, they kind of fed into that final rifle. Just, I mean, it's a rough pill to swallow for sure, but Flyquest Red, you need to be a little bit more diligent on their trades in those XV1 situations. And especially when we see things like this, right? Where we do see the whole team stack up together and just look to become a Zerg rush with pistols. A lot of times it does work. They're able to take a weapon away, but they need to kind of adopt some of that with some of these full buys as well. Pistols are working out, though. Already 2 coming in for Emmy and Marie. Bring us back down to the 3 versus 3. Bomb will be planted on the A-bomb site. A little bit of a fake to keep Flyquest Red guessing. Molotov to force the planter out of position. Flyquest Red just buying time, waiting for the rest of the rotation to come in.
Yeah, and even with that smoke faded, now all of a sudden everything's gotten a lot harder for Beyond Limits. Even with this being full-on rifles versus upgraded pistols, I mean, Emmy snuck through. The timing was there, so he had a lot of damage, but no kill onto Flixie. Now Vanessa's come in with a kill of her own. Maybe on the last one left alive here, 38 seconds. I'm not sure there's enough time for them to make the full rotation over in towards B. And instead, Bibion will come forward. She'll get the first kill, pull away immediately, and we're into a 1v1, 29 seconds. Beyond Limits, they might be forced out into a weird position here with just 20 seconds left. It's promised to try and get this clutch.
It is 5-7 versus AK is a very scary situation to be in. Promise, though, knows the position of this last counter-terrorist, so he is going to strafe on over. You mentioned it, though. There's not enough time to get all the way over to A, or all the way over to B, so he's going to have to go for the plant. He does opt for cover from cave, so we'll be able to get the bomb down, and the quick peek out yields a good result for him. Headshot onto B Beyond, and 4 rounds for Beyond Limits.
Yeah, kind of getting caught out right at the end. They just kind of caught out in a bad situation either way, right? She could have gone for the rotation earlier. It would have been spotted instantly by Promise from that CT side, and instead, held firm, staying in towards Donut. Didn't end up working out. However, Flyquest would continue to push the envelope here in terms of how close these rounds are, and that's really good signs for them now that they're in with the rifles, with an op on Fox as well, and plenty of utility. Aggressive to start with as well, in towards middle. Marie will go down, but there's a
It's
good shot here for Emmy to get a trade right back.
it's good information though. There's the kit falling there in mid, but the nice thing is now Flyquest do have some idea of the setup from Beyond Limits, and Vanessa going to catch 2 off the back of that. One for Beyond as well to bring it to a 4 versus 3. Is that going to be enough to dissuade Beyond Limits though? They've still got 2 set up outside of double doors, so they could still go for the B pop, but again, a little bit of an over rotation coming in from Flyquest. They're sending those players over towards mid to let Emmy just hold on and take a look.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider an over rotation. I think they're just trying to be very active on the map, right? You have to remember they took all that pressure away from A, all the players they had, that baseline away from that site. So there's always the potential that bomb is lurking over towards there. Not the case in this area, but Vivian has to rotate back to keep an eye on it. And initially, at least, Fox was going in towards Red Room to try and support Emmy. In this case, I mean, enough time has gone by that Beyond Limits has to force their way in towards the B site. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Utility is on the way. So the stack is going to run into as many CT players as can be mustered, with Emmy in the backlines kind of waiting things out as Flixie finds both of the aggressive players. Emmy as well in the back flank. It's just Fox left in a 1v3. She's found one to start.
Again, the retakes from Flyquest looking a little bit out of sorts. One at a time, pushing on into the site is not going to yield any sort of good results. And Fox out in the open, caught by Beastman. It's 5 in a row for Beyond Limits, and Flyquest Red are just looking a little bit flat on the defense. They're looking like they want to be aggressive on the defense, which you do have to do on Ancient. Otherwise, you give up just way too much space if you just wait on the sites, and you're just gonna you give up a lot of space and you give up a lot of time, and you just get the instant pops that it's so hard to retake from. It's so hard to recover from. So I will say they are doing it right as they do push out, but I'm just wondering where the second idea is behind that push.
Well, it looks like they did have a little bit of a timeout here to discuss things, and of course, a 5-0 skid to start off with isn't great. It is them going up against the T side, which on Ancient is the more popular side. That's the side you're going to get more rounds on, but again, as we've discussed, like very easily attainable rounds here, or not easily attainable, but well fought rounds that they got really close to grabbing. And so, like you said, the rust is there, and the hope is that they're able to get back into winning ways here soon. Because again, very aggressive on the rotations, very aggressive on the movement. Even with just upgraded pistols this time, they're going to be 3 on the site, ready to go as smokes have come down. Fox will be found first, but it's a good initial trade, at least from Marie. However, the AKs will prevail here. Unless Bibion has something to say with an MP9. She's found 3 kills, and now all of a sudden, 2 kills. She's found 2 kills, but she's put it into a 2v2. And the bomb has been dropped on the site with no plan.
Yeah, so finally a solid response out of Flyquest Red, and maybe a winnable round. The weapon's definitely not favoring them, but you can see Beyond Limits looking a little bit scared as Flixie catches a headshot onto Vanessa. That's the 5-7 down, and it is going to be enough as Beastman will cover up and take that final nail, put that final nail in the coffin. 6-0 start for Beyond Limits.
Back in with the rifles, though. Good to see. Full utility. Op on Fox. You know, a lot of the defensive kills have been running through Fox and Vivian so far. So good to see them both on their preferred weapons and utility to match that. Missed boost from Emmy to get up in towards Cat early. They still will manage to get across. However, there's a lot of players from Beyond Limits waiting on the other side of this elbow.
Yeah, and I do wonder where this idea is coming from for Beyond Limits, because they've been hit so often with a lot of picks early on, and now Flyquest Red they've got the full buy for the 3rd time this game, but it's yielded nothing. They're just Beyond Limits are now just pulling out util.
Full utility here. Marie is going to be under a lot of pressure in a second here. As double flash comes over. She just managed to get at least the first kill on this. Emmy as well is able to trade. So things looking very successful here as Bibion has found another in the meantime. The lurk over in towards the B long area. So all of a sudden, it's a 3-2 advantage for Flyquest Red, and the rotations from Beyond Limits are running over towards that B site, where they will only be encountering Bibion waiting for them, unless either Fox or Vanessa make a move sooner rather than later to get out of that A site defense.
Well, it's a good move from Beyond Limits to abandon mid and head on over toward the site. They know that the defense is going to be pulled apart a little bit here, so it's going to be a 2 versus 1 on the site. The retake's starting to come in, and Bibion, as she pushes forward, she's caught by Promise. Fox now, along with Vanessa, going to be caught behind this smoke, so 2 versus 2. And again, what looked like a perfect round from Flyquest Red might just be recoverable for Beyond Limits. Op peeks out once again, and Promise flattens Vanessa. That'll leave Fox in the 1 versus 2. AWP looking for both of these players. Promise still playing from behind the pillar. Fox going to push up, and Promise with the third. It's a no-scope onto Fox for a 7-0 lead. Flyquest Red.
You mentioned it earlier, the retakes just have not been retaking properly. You know, they're getting into these great situations. They give themselves the opportunity to take the round, but then you get into that last second clutch area and all of a sudden things fall apart. You've got those solo fights happening. You've got just, I don't want to call it a lack of composure, but it almost seems that way, right? They're losing focus for that 1 or 2 seconds that really do matter, and their setups are really good to get them into these spots. Again, Emmy, she got the boost that time. She's on towards that fight, towards Cat. She'll get a damage. She'll get a kill. But they're still down 2-1 on that fight.
I mean, I don't want to excuse it, but we did kind of mention at the beginning of this that Flyquest Red, they don't play a whole lot of Ancient, so going into this, there were always going to be a little bit of a disadvantage versus Beyond Limits, a team that does play a fair amount of Ancient, but it is looking like just under-practiced. A good catch for Fox on the FAMAS. Does even things out at 2. Gonna go looking for more. Oh, the smoke phase. She does find some damage, but again, Promise with the no-scope. Looks for another, but it doesn't need it. Flixie coming in from the side, and Beyond Limits just gonna continue their dominating streak.
I don't really know where we can go with this at this point. I mean, another timeout has been called by Flyquest. It's just almost a failure to launch, it feels like, if that makes sense. It continually gets to a good spot, or a spot with potential, and fizzles out. And that's really unfortunate to watch. It's a reminder that, of course, Beyond Limits are a very good team. Flyquest Red do not play this map that much, right? So there's all the different reasons that you can add to this, but at the end of the day, the rounds just are not going their way. 4 more opportunities here in this half on their CT side to get things going.
Well, and if I were to be a bit of a hindsight Henry, there's a few different parts of it, and one I think is that there may be a lack of coordination coming in from just having to the switching of players that have happened the past couple of weeks. But even without that, it just feels like Flyquest Red are just feeling unprepared. They're not ready for when the fights are going to happen. I feel like it may have just been a lack of preparation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a good stack on the A-bomb site.
Yeah, they do have something. They do have something looking really well oriented here. You've got Emmy, you've got Fox in towards long A, you've got Bibion behind the big box. Although she'll be spotted right off rip, and that's going to be her done for this round. So big take coming in from Beyond Limits, and Flixie is going to go hunting here. Fox has an opportunity to grab an AK. And well, to hide herself in the corner for now. Flash is going to be in. She's going to be blind, and that's just so unfortunate. It's textbook from Beyond Limits on all of their takes, on all of their fights. So just Emmy left with an MP7 in hand. And she is trying to escape / find another kill of her own. Well, Ken's Prime is there. And so, Beyond Limits continue with a 9-0.
Yeah, this is... I mean, 3 rounds left in the half. If you can scoop these rounds up on the CT side, you can at least make it respectable. Flyquest Red, at least this season, have had some fairly good pistol rounds. You know, we didn't get to see it on the CT side, but on the T side, if they just go fly up all together, the Zerg rushing Glocks have worked out pretty well. However, this round going to start off much the same as the last few, again with an opening for Beyond Limits. And this time they'll cut that map in half. They've been, feel like they have had this opportunity to go for this a few different times this game and have not done so. They've just pushed over to A through mid. This time it is going to be the full shove through mid and have the backside of the map full access as the rest of the team will fight. Flyquest Red do find themselves only 3 versus 4, so not the worst thing in the world, but the retake is going to be coming in slow.
Could be a very interesting player in this scenario, though. Has hidden her way from a long, made sure to survive, stay alive long enough here, and I mean, Dalton has yet to move. He's waiting for a player to push through on the corner. Instead, it's going to be Promise that will spot one. Fox with the trade back. In a 3v2 scenario, less than 10 seconds on the clock now. Fox will find Dalton. The trial is, can she survive after getting all those kills? 39 HP. She's got to get around some walls, got to get behind some spots, and indication is, yeah, she's just fine. So another round 2 Beyond Limits, but some after action kills they're coming in. Empty calories, unfortunately, in this case, though, as Beyond Limits has hit double digits. The good news is an op and an AK are saved for another go here.
Yeah, and I mean, going into these final rounds of the half, that is about as good as you can really ask for with how the first 10 rounds have gone. I mean, I'm trying to find a silver lining in this. I'm trying to be like, where is the opening that Flyquest Red haven't been yet? But it just feels like Beyond Limits have showed up to the server in a very convincing way tonight.
Regardless, bomb will be traveling its way over towards B. A lot of initial utility, and again, Flyquest Red active in towards middle. Beyond active in towards Cat as well. I will be Promise getting the first kill onto Vanessa as things continue forward here. Beyond in towards Cave. As a good kill comes in from Fox. That will eliminate any kind of flank coming through. Now you have to deal with the main meet. All of the players in towards the B site. And you've got very little to no info of where they are.
Yeah, and again, you don't have a whole lot of time. 10 seconds off the bomb, 15 seconds off the bomb, and this retake is still somewhat of a non-starter. Dalton going to be watching from double doors, waiting for somebody to cross over. He allows this. Trigger discipline coming in strong, finds the back of the head of Emmy, and it's a good trade from Beyond, but it's all for nothing, as there's just no one there to take advantage. Eastman trying to hunt down Marie. Not going to be allowed to do so, but it's still 11 rounds for Beyond Limits either way. Dalton doesn't even care that he went down to the bomb at this point. His team has just got so much money, and I mean, with 11 rounds under your belt, you gotta just allow yourself to get a little silly. As serious as you want to be, it doesn't matter. You're already just played this half to a T.
P90 on Flixie. That's we'll see how that goes. Early on, though, lots of damage done, at least initially. Dalton and Beastman getting the kills. Vanessa and Bibian responding in kind, though. The failed to launch. B play comes in. Still, though, Promise has found Fox elsewhere on the map, and that means all of a sudden it is just Marie and Bibian left over in towards B. They have been cornered, though, and the only way forward is through, and that's what Bibian will do. She'll find the first onto Flixie, the second on the Promise, on 3 so far, looking to finish this off with a 4th, and they will get 1. Marie finishing off the round. No goose egg on this one.
Yeah. I mean, look, as much as I want to give Flyquest Red their flowers for that round, Flixie had a P90. Beyond Limits decided that, we don't have to win a 12-0. We could give them 1. We could fly in and see what happens. I mean, hey, it's better than nothing, but now is where the real challenge is going to start. It'd be a big mid play for Flyquest Red, flying in and charging in through Donut. They do manage to push Promise back. He's not going to be stepping to the Glock train. Meanwhile, Fox inside of main flattens Flixie. Dalton trying to get control of things, but there's just too many pistols on the site. Flyquest Red do get that bomb down, and I highlighted it before. The Zerg Rush pistols have their own merit. Flyquest Red looking like a pile of falling leaves onto the A-bomb site, forcing Beyond Limits to respect their prowess this time.
Always interested to see where players are hiding nowadays because of the change on the bomb, and it does not disappoint me. Hey, listen, pistol round is always good to get. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. And this is where you really got to take advantage, right? You got that one round. You've got a little, the thinnest of margins in terms of failure hitting you, and this is when you take advantage. So, Galil's and Mac 10s for this round, going up against upgrade pistols and MP9.
You're right. It is upgraded pistols and MP9, but at the same time, I feel nervous that this is the sort of round to go from ecstatic you won the pistol round into walking right into an MP9, but the Mac 10 comes out on top. That is at least one little glimmer of hope for Flyquest Red. The smoke will be tossed into main. Emmy trying to make her way in through the smoke, but the 5-7 wins out, and the triple for Promise. No. And that is about where Flyquest Red will be unraveled. Marie sidelined by Dalton, and it's just Vanessa left standing. Not even the bomb to work with. 1 versus 3, and she's got to walk into the tiger's den of A. I swear to you, I didn't look at the score beforehand. I didn't know that that was about to happen, but it's just one of those things that you feel, right?
I absolutely did not feel that was going to happen. However, we can give you the benefit of the seer's eye, the caster's curse of this should be a normal round. There's never a normal round with Flyquest Red. We'll see what Vanessa can do here. I mean, 30 seconds left on the clock. There is still time for her to do something here. The problem is those guns have been picked up, right? There are Galils and a Mac 10 everywhere you look around the corner. The question is, does she check everything? And with the low HP player on one corner...
Oh, baited into the player looking the wrong way.
I wonder why she... I mean, I get why she didn't shoot because she's looking for other kills potentially, and I mean, that Galil's not looking at her, but yeah, and it's unfortunate, right? Beyond Limits have come into this one, they've got the right angles, they've got the right teamwork coming through, and it's unraveled Flyquest Red at the most inopportune moment when they look like they'd be able to pick up some steam here and potentially get back into this game. However, they themselves now become the prey with Deagles and a Mac 10 and Galil, all that will try and save them this round. Molotov down in front of him as well. Vanessa's going to run right through this. She'll face a wall of bullets. Flixie finds 2. The rest of his team is quickly on the scene as well. Emmy will get the trade back at least. The problem is her teammates are dropping every second this goes on. Now it's just Fox left. Den's Prime will get the final 2 kills to secure the match. It's a victory for Beyond Limits, 13-2. They take the match. They go 4-4. Flyquest stays at Flyquest goes to 4-4. Beyond Limits goes to 5-3.
Well, I mean, not a whole lot. You learn more from a loss than a win, I think, is the biggest silver lining in that game. Obviously, we did see some good opping, a little glimmer of hope from Fox on that at the end, but there was not a whole lot else to write home about on the side of Flyquest Red. Beyond Limits, though, have to be feeling pretty darn good at the end of that one, right? I mean, obviously, we're going to be more biased toward Flyquest. This is the Flyquest stream, but you got to give Beyond Limits their props. They were firing on all cylinders. They were looking sharp. Promise especially was hitting multiple no scopes. And so that was, a big win for Beyond Limits to take home and bring into the future of their ESEA season.
Yeah, so it's a bit unfortunate there in the end for them. The good news is there are more matches later in the week for us to move on from this one from and keep an eye on for. So I think that's kind of the note we'll take is, listen, this was not a great match. It was an unfortunate one to watch. We don't like to see them lose, but the good news is there's more opportunities for them to win and for us to celebrate later on this week. So that starts with tomorrow, and of course then also a match on Thursday. But I think that's really everything for us. In terms of things, just wanted to give a quick shout out to MyHUD for being our official HUD. Are they HUD partners? Is that the correct word of phrase? Yeah, that is the correct word of phrase. So they are HUD partners for the rest of the season. I hope you guys have noticed that we've been switching over. Generally, it was a little bit slow. We've now made the official switch over. So we're all ready to go on that. Yeah, I mean, big shout out to them. And big shout out to Will behind the desk. Floofies, you got any other shout outs here before we go?
Nope, that's about it for me. I mean, thanks to MyHUD, thanks to Olipop, thanks to Logitech. Thank you to our sponsors. You keep the team paid, you keep the games rolling. So definitely thank you to the sponsors for keeping things working. Make sure you check them out. If you're doing your own broadcasts at home, MyHUD is definitely, I mean, with the Auto Observer, it is a great way for a solo production or even a duo production without the Observer to at least be much more viable. So do make sure to check out MyHUD. And while you're at it, I mean, I don't have a Logitech that I can show, but they're good hardware. There you go. Parks has got it. Parks has always got us.
Shout out Flyquest for getting me this cool headset. All right. But that is going to be everything for us. We'll be back tomorrow with a match against Team SB. I think Floofy's now will be back for this one. And so we'll see you then. And of course, the match on Thursday will be coming up as well. Until tomorrow, bye for now.